Home prices are continuing to go up, and why is that? We got a 4 million home shortage. We can't just make 4 million homes in a year. We've never made more than 2 million in a year. In January is when we saw interest rates first go up. Rates was kind of flat this week. And why is that? I think it's kind of waiting for the next big thing to happen. The Fed finally raised the Fed funds rate. That is the start of many more rate hikes to come. We had Russia invade Ukraine. All right, probably the biggest, most impactful event of this entire quarter, this entire year so far, and the impact of that is going to be felt for years. Talk about changing the focus. Will Smith slapping Chris Rock totally changed everybody's focus for at least a week. Tom Brady retired, and then he unretired. Lakers probably not making the playoffs this year. I'm not unhappy about that. Never been a Lakers fan. Please don't unsubscribe. As a matter of fact, I would greatly appreciate it if you like, subscribe, or comment. All right, so what do we got today? Drum roll. Home prices. Case-Shiller Home Price Index report for January. In January is when we saw interest rates first go up, all right, into the threes in January. Well, guess what happened? As prices or interest rates went up, didn't stop home prices from going up. Matter of fact, had been going down. Our appreciation rate had been going down, shot back up. All right, so January we went from 0.9% appreciation in December to 1.1% month-over-month appreciation in January. Our annual appreciation went from 18.9% up to 19.2%. All right, so despite rising interest rate, home prices accelerated. And you know who the big gainers were last month or in January? San Diego, 2.5% month-over-month increase in their home prices. San Diego, I've said it before, is as close to Hawaii, I think, as you get on the mainland as far as home price appreciation. And 2.5%, that's pretty solid. San Francisco popped in there at 2.4%. So and then Tampa Bay, I think, was the third one, 23% or 2.3%. So home price appreciation in January skyrocketed, which is they've been a little lower. Year over year, Phoenix still the top in the nation at 32.6% appreciation, followed by Tampa Bay and Miami. Those are in the high 29 and to high 30 or low 30%. So home prices are continuing to go up. And why is that? Freddie Mac, who's one of the government service enterprises who oversees our mortgage and our housing market, basically said, hey, we got a 4 million home shortage. We can't just make 4 million homes in a year. Matter of fact, we've never made more than 2 million in a year. A matter of fact, based on our new home sales report from the previous week, we're on pace for 780-some thousand new homes in 2022. So we're not going to catch up. The supply is not going to catch up. And you got to remember, you got 45 million millennials, all right, who are looking to buy their first home. So that is an issue that we still have, and that's not going to change. And that is one of the reasons why, despite rising interest rates, home prices are still going up. Talked about home prices. Inventory, I think inventory is kind of flat right now, maybe a little down. Typically Wednesdays, Thursdays during the week, brokers or realtors, they will do open houses for other realtors to come out and visit and give them a sneak peek on the homes that are coming on the market or going to be on the market over the weekend. There's a pretty small list today that came out. So that's just one pulse point, all right? Looks like inventory is not necessarily going up yet, although I talk to people every day, and most of them who already own homes are thinking about selling. All right, so but that's just my pulse point. So inventory, I'm gonna say, is kind of flat, maybe down this week. All right, let's talk about rates real quick. Rates kind of flat actually, despite everything going on, all the inflation fears. Rates kind of took a break. Again, they're waiting for the next shoe to drop. All right. Let's talk about inflation since I brought it up. Personal consumption expenditure report came out. This is for the month of February, up 0.6%, which was kind of what was expected. So it didn't really have a really huge effect on the market. But inflation overall went from 6% to 6.4%. So that's the highest we've had in 40 years. It's no joke. That's one measure of inflation. The other one, the CPI is at 8%, almost 8%. And last week I said we're going to get to 10. I think we will. I just don't see prices coming down anytime soon. So, and you know, you look at, it's not just house prices that are going up. You look at fuel prices. You look at car prices. Talk about private sector wages, all right? Private sector rate wages, all right? This kind of goes in line with inflation, all right? And really what affordability in a house is, all right? Because, you know, the home price appreciation report tells one thing, but what does that mean for affordability, all right? For affordability, you got to take into account the difference in the interest rate, all right? Interest rates last year were in the, let's say, low 3s, high 2s, all right? Interest rates this year are in the low 4s, mid 4s. So you have to take a look at that. That also impacts affordability, but also wages. Private sector wages up 0.9% in February. Adjusted for the rest of this last year, 10.5% increase in wage appreciation. So that's pretty solid. Now, when you take that into account with the increase in home prices, 18% for instance, the home prices have gone up, but it's not as bad as it may seem because people are making more money. All right, we are at 53-year lows in unemployment right here, right now. Wages, I would expect they're gonna go up. And why is that? One, people wanna keep their people. They don't wanna lose their people, so guess what they're getting? Those people are getting raises. If people lose their job, it's not hard to get a new job because there are so many open jobs out there. You just walk down any strip mall, all right, you're gonna see help wanted signs. And you know what? You're gonna see higher wages. Fast food restaurants, you're seeing like $19 an hour to work fast food. That's pretty dang good. All right, businesses are desperate for people to come to work. All right, all of these things go into effect, and they affect the affordability of housing. So the one other thing I want to talk about is something that we've been talking about for a couple of weeks, and that's the 10-year inversion curve. And that measures the 2-year T-bill versus the 10-year T-bill. And typically your longer term treasuries have a higher rate of return than your short term, all right? Because there's less risk over a longer period of time. 2-year this week, actually return was higher than the 10-year for just a couple days, and now we're back. People are saying, oh, that's gonna cause a recession. I'm saying that's gonna cause a recession. But what I am telling you right now, don't look out your window and expect to see the recession tornado coming at you, all right? It will take 6 months to 2 years, possibly, based on history, before we actually go into a recession, all right? And if you look at things right now, our economy is doing really well. Know that there's a lot of things that are happening right now that are going to have a negative effect on our economy. And let me talk about one thing, Russia, Ukraine. I really haven't talked about them much. All right, we've had 4 million people, all right, evacuate Ukraine. Where are they going? All right, half of them are in Poland. Poland actually saw their population grow by 7% in the last month, all right? And you have a full 6 million people who are still in Ukraine and they can't leave. Well, what's happened to Ukraine? All right, it's been leveled. Oh yeah, what is 4 million? That's just a number, right? 4 million, that's the size of the population of Los Angeles. All right, people, that's a lot of people. They've all been displaced, all right? And what is the cost gonna be to rebuild Ukraine, all right? You think, it's Ukraine, it's Europe, it's not gonna affect us. Baloney, all right? It is. Why? And it's gonna affect Europe first, all right? Monies are going to come from all over Europe to help rebuild Ukraine. Do you think it's gonna come from Russia? Russia's been spanked with all sorts of restrictions. Their economy is in shambles. Their ruble's worth 0, all right? They are not going to be able to fix anything, nor will they. All right. So who's going to pay for that? Somebody's going to pay for that, and that is going to be Europe. Europe's going to go into recession. We're going to go into recession. All right, because Europe's our ally, and everyone's going to chip in. All right, because hey, 4 million people, that's a lot. 10 million people, that's a lot. All right, and we got that. That's going to happen. We don't know when that's going to. It's happening now, but at some point we got to rebuild. We got to help Ukraine rebuild, all right? Because their economy is linked to our economy. Their people are humans just like our people. And you know what? They need to go home and live and flourish in their homeland, all right? So for those reasons, this 2 to 10 year curve inversion doesn't foretell of a recession tomorrow, but in the next couple of years. All right, based on that, based on a lot of other factors, we'll see one. All right, not a doom and gloom guy, just a realist. All right, we've lived through this before. That's really all I have. So you guys have a great weekend. Know that if you need anything at all right, you're never a bother to me. You're the whole reason I do what I do. All right, aloha and have a great day.